Today we're going over how you can easily improve your aim, movement, and awareness in Warzone 2. Now, this is something that all of the Warzone Pro players do, and it really only takes you about 10 minutes. Now, I get that some of you only play a few hours here and there, but these 10 minutes before you drop in will really start to help you improve. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to start off by going into MW2, and yes, unfortunately, right now, you do need MW2 for this because we're going to take advantage of creating a private match. Now, the first option that you have is going to be your game mode, and we're going to keep this very simple. You should always choose free-for-all. Now, you're going to come to this screen right here where your start match and your game setup is going to be locked. Those will unlock if you give it a few seconds, and as we're waiting for that, I'm going to take you through the game setup. I'm going to take you through the weapon that I use and how I set up my loadout, and then I'll really jump into the game and talk to you about how to improve your aim, movement, and awareness. Now, starting off with our game setup right here, let's go ahead and jump into our bot setup. Now, if you used to do this in MW 2019, you remember that you could put on up to 11 bots. Well, unfortunately, in this game mode, we can only choose 5, which means for our map, we need a very small map. 3 maps that I usually do. I do Embassy, I do Farm 18, I do Mercado, but I generally lean towards doing Embassy. I just like kind of the dynamic of the buildings and having to constantly center around corners. Now, going back to our bot setup right here, when it comes to difficulty, you can put them on Recruit. I'm going to put them on Recruit here because I'm going to talk to you as I'm kind of doing this warm-up, but you can put them on regular, you can put them on hardened if you want to as you're improving. Veteran is a little bit crazy. That's totally up to you, but generally, I put them on regular. I'm not trying to sweat too much here. I'm just trying to get my aim under control. I'm trying to warm up a little bit before I drop in. But like I said, for this scenario right here, I'm going to put them on Recruit. Now let's go ahead and jump into our game rules. First up, time limit. Don't want to run out of time, but we can always back out. So I'm going to put that on 45. When it comes to score limit, I would put it anywhere between 100 and 250. Sometimes I do up to 250 or even 200 just to really get warmed up. And again, if you put it on 200 and you feel good after 100 kills, you can easily back out and then go ahead and jump in. The other thing is match start time. Put this on 5 seconds. This just gets you into the game a lot quicker. Let's not waste 10 seconds waiting to get into the game. Put it on 5 seconds. You'll get in pretty much immediately. Now, next up, we go over here to our player. And this is a really important one because in Warzone 2, the TTK is very fast, but the health dynamic is still 250 right now. So I actually put this on 250. I still think this is a longer TTK than what we're seeing in Warzone right now, meaning you do have to be really accurate with your shots, and this is going to force you to be precise with that right stick and make those little adjustments and continue to hit high damage areas. So I put it on 250 right here. Everything else stays exactly the same. Now, when we come to team dynamic, here's the other one with Warzone 2, especially for my Rebirth and Fortune's Key players, but really for everybody. The minimap is pretty much useless unless you have a UAV up or bird's eye. So I actually turn my minimap off. I want to get out of the habit of looking at my minimap. I want to rely on everything that I'm seeing in front of me and really think about where enemies could be as opposed to trying to use my minimap. So in this scenario right here, this is different from if you did this in MW 2019. The minimap should be off. Finally, we go into gameplay right here. Just kind of some small things for you. Spawn ammo mags max. There are going to be times, especially as you're improving, that you run out of ammo because you get that many kills. We can talk about how to address that in a second, but turn spawn ammo mags on to max. This way you just spawn it with the most amount of ammo as possible. Only other thing here, perks and kill streaks I turn off because I don't want to worry about them. Now, let's talk about our weapon. We've got Embassy. We've got our game rules here, which I'll scroll through quickly again here for you. And then we've got our bots is on 5 and then Recruit, regular, hardened, whatever you want. Next up, we go to our weapons. Let's quickly build our loadout right here. I go with the Vaznev 9K. I think it's a really good option when it comes to mobility, when it comes to sprint to fire speed, when it comes to recoil control. It's got a little bit of recoil here, and I'll scroll through this for you right here. Bruin comp, cubic comp. And I think it's just an overall good gun to warm up with. I don't want too much recoil, but I definitely need at least a little bit. So that's how I have that set up. You can pause that right there. When it comes to our loadout, this is actually an important one. I've got frag grenades. Once again, if you get caught in a situation with no ammo and you do not have a muni box, which make sure you have a munitions box as your field upgrade, you can just go ahead and blow yourself up and respawn. I don't want to waste any time here. My goal is to quickly get this done, quickly get to a spot where I feel good with my shot and I feel warmed up, and then we can go in and drop in. Other thing here is I've got Scavenger, Double Time, and Fast Hands. Those are just 3 big ones right here. You know, Scavenger is going to give us more ammo. Fast Hands allows us to reload. So let's go ahead and drop into game right here now that we've got that set up. If you are in a scenario where you are dev erroring at this screen right here, it's going to happen to a lot of you. What you need to do is just load into a game real quick, a normal multiplayer game. Load into Shoot House, load into just normal team deathmatch. That should solve the issue of not dev erroring right here. I know something we were dealing with for a while, so that should solve that problem. So as we're loading in right here, let's go ahead and jump in with a few different things that I do want to talk about. Okay, so now that we are in game, let's talk about how to actually get better aim, movement, and awareness. Starting off with aim here, there's two methods that I would recommend. The first one, which is way more challenging, and I would only recommend this for advanced players, is going to be to turn your aim assist off. If you feel like you can consistently hit high damage areas and you have good vertical recoil control, so you can consistently hit headshots, you can hit neck shots, and hit those high damage areas, then you can go ahead and turn your aim assist off. Reason being is, this is going to really mess with your horizontal aim because you have no slowdown, you have no aim assist. So you have to be able to hit high damage areas if you are going to be turning your aim assist off, or else you're just going to end up making it even worse for yourself. Now, the second method, which as you are improving, this is the one that I used a lot to really get my aim better, is turning your aim assist on and you turn your ADS sensitivity multiplier way up and keep your normal sensitivity the same. But as you can see, this is my normal sensitivity. This is it when I'm actually ADS. Notice that it is actually faster. So this is going to affect your horizontal and your vertical aim sensitivity. By the way, quick tip on Embassy right here, open all these doors. It will allow enemies to actually run through them. They don't really open doors that much, so just a little bonus tip there. But this is going to force you to control your vertical and your horizontal sensitivity, allowing you to start to really improve your vertical and horizontal. If you ever get stuck here, guys, switch to your pistol, get a little bit of gulag working as well. You can use pistols here and use that to your advantage. So let's go and work our way back here. Notice the little dolphin dive right there, and we can really start to lock in the better aim. Now, the one tip that I will give you, and I'm going to go ahead and jump back here. I'm going to push this back down to where it normally is. I'm going to turn my aim assist off, and now we got to go to work. But the one tip that I will give you guys, and this is going to sound crazy, but if you are looking to improve, just trust me, is don't necessarily focus on the recoil of the gun in the sense of like, I'm going to memorize this recoil pattern. My goal here is to get to a point where I can maneuver the right stick based on where the gun is actually moving to. And that is all based on the right stick. So I want you to, you know, if I'm shooting up here, I need to be able to adjust that. So no matter what the recoil is, I want you to understand where my crosshairs currently, where am I aiming currently, and what it micro adjustment do I have to make with the right stick. So you're thinking more about making that slight little adjustment with the right stick as opposed to actually thinking about getting better aim. It's almost like it's a complicated way of saying hand-eye coordination. So that's going to really help you out, and that's something that really helped me out. Now, like I said, guys, aim assist on versus aim assist off is totally up to you, and high sensitivity. Now let's talk about awareness and let's talk about movement. When we talk about awareness, guys, the biggest thing here is just going to be centering and anticipation. Centering where your crosshairs are going to be. If there is a guy turning this corner right now, I'm already aimed at a high damage area. That is a lot of you run around with your crosshairs here and then are forced to adjust. So as I'm turning this corner and thinking there's somebody to my left, I'm already in a good position right there to be able to hit those shots. So centering your crosshairs, and this is very important in game as well. I've always said in my videos, which if you are looking to get better, guys, make sure you are subscribed down below, is centering in Warzone 1 was kind of difficult because of how quick it had to happen with that slide cancel. Centering in Warzone 2 is very easy because it is a much slower paced game, but because of the TTK, it is far more important because of how fast you die if you are not centering. Switch to the pistol. We're going to throw Muni Box down. So start thinking about where enemies are going to be, and that's going to be anticipation as well. It's crucial in this game to be thinking, okay, there might be somebody there. If there's somebody there, we can snap on. Let's go and anticipate somebody around here. If there's somebody right there, we're able to hit all high damage areas, and that's how we really start to improve at this game and start to be able to win more gunfights. That's where a lot of you struggle right here, is losing gunfights. There's a guy back there, and you can, guys, this is, look right here, this is aim assist off. That's just the level of aim and level of my ability to maneuver that right stick. Now, the last thing that I will talk about is, especially as you crank up the difficulty on these guys, you don't have to. Look, I'm not trying to have these guys shoot back like crazy. The other thing I will say is, if you are on no aim assist and these guys start moving around everywhere, be really careful because you will really start to struggle with tracking. I'm out of ammo right here, no Muni Box. We can just go ahead and blow ourselves up with the frag. When you have no aim assist on, guys, you got to be very careful. When you get on regular and hardened, they will start really strafing more and more, which makes it very difficult. And what I don't want is your aim to be worse because you're trying to track them and you're going like this trying to track, right? You get the wiggles a little bit. So you need to be really careful about if somebody starts to do that and if an enemy starts to do that in bots, just back off, reset the fight, and then go ahead and re-engage. Now, when we talk about movement, only things I want you to work on here, you're not going to see it much with Recruit because they don't really shoot back that much, but definitely on regular and hardened, they will shoot back. Make sure you are dolphin diving to get out of bad scenarios, right? I want you to get in the habit of using this to dolphin dive around corners. You can also work on jumping, but when you jump, guys, don't ADS here. So if I were to jump peek this corner, I've got 7 bullets left already. I run out of ammo so quick. When we are jump peeking this corner, guys, we need to hip fire before we ADS. If I jump peek, notice how slow it is, but if I hip fire that, I can hit shots, then we snap onto that guy right there, make a little adjustment. So when you are working on movement here and you're jump peeking corners, work on hip firing first, and then you ADS right there. That guy was probably a little bit far. The other thing I will say is if you do have your aim assist on, which, by the way, don't be afraid to get practice in of just if you feel you get after, 50 kills or however many kills, you feel really good with, either your higher sensitivity or aim assist off, go ahead and run your normal settings right here and just get some practice that way. Just get the feel for it. I would recommend, it takes too long to back out, but, if you do that, you can run on regular hardened, make it a little bit more challenging, but make sure you are strafing while shooting, guys. That increases your aim assist. Let me see if I can do it right here. I am not touching the right stick. You see how it kind of tracks right there a little bit? You see that rotational aim assist? I'm not touching my right stick. So you see how that strafe right slightly, barely kind of centers onto that guy? That is rotational aim assist right there. So now as we are doing it more, guys, it is really, really rotating with us. The other thing I will say, quick little bonus tip here for you when it comes to Gouge and pistols. Pistols don't have recoil. I'm just kind of going off at this point in terms of a tangent, but pistols don't have recoil. If I were to shoot at this wall right here, and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. If I were to shoot at this wall, you see how it resets every time? Do not be very careful. Yeah, it literally is in the same spot every time. If you try to pull down on the right stick, you're going to end up overcompensating. You're going to do that. Instead, and you can do this for pistols, by the way. If you really struggle, you can simply do this, right? So there, I'm only controlling it horizontally. Now right here, we're going to strafe a little bit while shooting, a little bit of vertical recoil control, and that's how to get better aim, guys. That's how to get better aim movement and awareness. When it comes to aim, ADS multiplier up or doing your what is it called? Aim assist off. You can then work on your movement, jump peeking corners while hip firing, strafing while shooting, and dolphin diving around corners when we're in a bad scenario. And then finally, awareness, just centering, thinking about where enemies are going to be, anticipating with intent. Boom, we get this guy right here. Little bit of aim assist. And right there, guys, you just see how easy it can be to maneuver that right stick. And that very much carries over in game. We're going to finish this off with a pistol kill right there. I hope you found today's video helpful. Start to do this warm up. It will allow you to get better aim movement and awareness. Doesn't take too long. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.